What if a young girl who lived across the street from you woke up tomorrow morning and instead of going to school to learn to read and write, she was forced to work a 10-hour day hauling garbage, labour in a brickworks, or worse, be forced to work as a prostitute? You would never allow such things to happen, because those kind of atrocities shouldn't happen to any child, anytime, anywhere, whether they live across the street or across the globe. Yet this kind of exploitation and abuse happens to millions of children every day in Southeast Asia. Children who spend their days labouring or begging. And in Cambodia, thousands of children are enslaved in what has grown into a lucrative black market of sex tourism. Predators from around the world travel there for what they consider recreational sex with young girls prized for their virginity. Sometimes the children they purchase are as young as 5 years old.
It's the worst kind of human exploitation imaginable. Can you imagine young children who'll be learning their ABCs or whatever the equivalent is in their language being used as sexual slaves for predators? It is a sin against humanity, and it is a horrendous crime.
In response to this situation, a small group of volunteers formed Lotus Outreach, a non-profit organisation dedicated to improving the lives of vulnerable women, children and communities through education, advocacy and prevention. Today, Lotus Outreach has grown into an international organisation based in the US, with independent affiliates in Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Taiwan and the UK. Lotus Outreach Australia registered as an independent not-for-profit organisation in Australia in 2004, with a focus on Cambodia. Together with Cambodian government-registered NGOs with expansive local knowledge, we assist the most marginalised women and children in practical ways to build healthy, dignified, sustainable lives. We advocate for their human rights and use effective and proven programs to prevent child labour and trafficking.
Hello everyone, I'm Glenn Fawcett. Lotus Outreach programs are always involved with the worst of the worst, the poorest and the most wretched. I've met girls that were raped since childhood, then sold into prostitution. 10 and 11-year-olds that look about 8 by Western standards, and you just can't get your head around how someone could do that. I'm not saying this to shock you, but to bring attention to the everyday realities we're working to protect children in Asia from facing.
At the heart of these problems is dire poverty, especially in Cambodia, a beautiful country with great cultural history, but still in painful recovery from years of invasion, bombing, landmines and genocide that almost wiped out the entire educated class. Today, the average Cambodian income is well under $1 a day for a whole household. Parents don't want to put their children in work, but they need the child's wage, and school is a luxury that hundreds of thousands of Cambodians just cannot afford. So using 100% of funds given by our generous donors, Lotus Outreach Australia partners with the Cambodian Women's Crisis Centre to identify young girls at risk of the worst forms of child labour and trafficking, and offering them a compelling alternative: scholarships through GATE, Girls' Access to Education, a highly effective, highly successful program. Research has proven that educating girls leads to a greater prospect of financial independence and sustainable lives, not only for the girls themselves, but also for their families, their future children, and their entire communities. The scholarships cover the students' cost of education, uniforms, raincoat, shoes, school supplies and transport. We also provide rice support so the very poorest families can eat. This means they're not forced to withdraw their girls from school and put them into child labour, which can easily lead on to trafficking. Lotus Outreach Australia have added to GATE an English language program held in the girls' local schools. Universities and vocational training programs often expect a good level of English, so this provides greater opportunities for the girls. Some of the girls who'd never even heard English spoken before are now able to write about their lives and read their essays aloud in class. Others have achieved over 90% in their exams, a great result. One major barrier to girls' education is lack of transport. Many girls walk up to 8 kilometres to school in the early dawn or after dark, with a real risk of being assaulted. Lotus Outreach Australia provides the girls with a bicycle and repair kit, which reduces travel time, allowing girls more time to study and to get to school and home safely. Lack of safe drinking water poses a huge threat to the lives of millions of Cambodians, but mostly to young children. Girls often care for sick siblings and are also the ones kept from school to walk the 4 kilometres or so for river water. A month's worth of bottled water often costs more than a whole month's salary. Partnering with the Cambodian Organisation for Children and Development, Lotus Outreach Australia has built wells to provide clean, safe water. Disease is now greatly reduced. There's increased school attendance for young girls, and the women are now growing vegetables for home and crops for sale, generating income. In turn, we're now instigating livelihoods programs, along with AFAP, Australian Foundation for People of Asia and the Pacific, with whom we are a community partner. Both we and the families we help aim to see the families become entirely self-supporting and able to keep their children in school themselves. Both monitoring and meeting with students and their families ensures that the girls attend school consistently and achieve their grades. We underpin this by helping to run community education sessions in the villages on human rights issues, the value to families and communities and the country of educating girls, and the consequences of domestic violence and trafficking. Inspired by their teachers, students and their families in Cambodia will often go to great extremes to achieve the dream of an education. In fact, enthusiastic students and volunteers travel to other villages to enrol more children in school. As our programs succeed, tremendous demand for them grows. Lotus Outreach Australia needs your support. It's the generosity of donors which enables us to keep over 150 girls safely in school, assist their move into university and vocational training, and enable us to increase the number of women and children we serve. Our dollar goes a long, long way in Cambodia and brings about great change. With your help, we will never have to turn away a single child whose body, mind and spirit have been violated, or a mother seeking more than a lifetime of back-breaking labour for her child. Because ending exploitation and opening doors to education, healthcare and human decency is something all women and children deserve, anytime, anywhere, whether across the street or across the globe.